market on it is like 150, which is not right. That's not true. I don't believe that at all. Ayo, it's week 13 of the vlogs. Let's get it. I'm starting out hot today. I just got off of work, but I gotta go meet a couple people to buy some strategy guides, as well as sell a Genesis console, and then to pick up some more stuff. So I'll let you know what I get when I get back. All right, back at my casa. And this is what I got: a bunch of strategy guides, a 360 Guitar Hero guitar. It does have corrosion damage on the battery contact, so I'm not sure if that's gonna work. A bunch of filler DS games, really nothing good in there. And another copy of GTA 5. But these books are great. I paid 95 bucks for all of these. And there are some solid ones in here. I'm obviously gonna keep a few for myself. Oh, that's a good one. I think I had that sealed recently and someone bought it. But I'm definitely keeping the Halo Reach. I'm definitely keeping the ODST and the Halo 2. I gotta. And this RuneScape, that's pretty sweet. Dante's Inferno. Smash Bros. Brawl. Yeah, these are great strategy guides. I haven't really checked to see if all the posters are in here. But that one has it. So, and BioShock 2. Oh. Alright, I got a couple people coming out, so I'll see you in the next one. What's up? What is today? Wednesday? It is Wednesday. And I don't have a lot of time to work on stuff today, but I'm going to get through these strategy guides, and hopefully I can test that 360 guitar. I should probably just do that first. Also, I got this in the mail. This is just a loose disc of the game. I was actually on Whatnot, watching Retro Rick, and I bid on that thinking it was a complete, but it was loose. And I got it for 50 bucks. So market's at 70. I'll try to get 60 for it. I've never played this game, so I don't feel like keeping it for myself, but hopefully somebody wants a loose copy of a PlayStation 2 game for 60 bucks. All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to test this first and get that through. The guitar is working just fine. It has a little stickiness on the, or it had a little stickiness on the strum, or whatever you want to call this, but a lot of goo gone. Fix that problem. All right, I don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to try to see the value here. Obviously, I'm keeping the Halo ones for myself, but I looked up RuneScape, and this freaking thing is listed on eBay between $40 and $80. That is crazy. All right, see what I can do. So I went through everything. Let me see. So 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 60, 65, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, no poster, 105. So I paid 95 bucks for all of them, plus the Halo ones. So if I sell them all, I'll make 10 bucks. So I didn't buy these to make money. I bought them because I wanted the Halo ones, and it was like buy all or none situation. So I just did it, and then I'm kind of low on strategy guides, and this is just kind of a nice little beef to the strategy guides that I have. So I'm not terribly disappointed with the outcome. I assumed most of them were going to be 5 bucks, but right, that's the last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, it is Thursday. Not a lot going on today. Just got to price out these cheapy little games, make a post to Facebook with the stuff I got, but I am getting some stuff later today, so I'm probably going to hold off on that till later. Other than that, just clean up the table and get some breakfast right now. We did a trade. I got this PlayStation 3 in box. It is missing the Ratchet and Clank game, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to replace that. We did a trade for PlayStation 4 500 gig. This one we were testing it before he took off, and it's got disk drive issues, and I can't figure it out. So I guess I'm gonna have to put it in the defective bin. I'm glad we tested that too. It was working fine last time I tested it, but I tested it many months ago, so I can't even remember when I tested it. So yeah, that's a trade I normally wouldn't do, because I can sell a PS4 for 80 bucks and the PlayStation 3 inbox market on it is like 150, which is not right. That's not true. I don't believe that at all. I was gonna put it at 100. So like there isn't much room there, but he also wanted a game, so I gave him a $10 game, and then I'm gonna have to replace this game. That's probably a $10 to $20 game. So I'm not really making any money on this trade, but I thought it would be cool to have a PlayStation 3 in box along with all the other consoles that I got in box. So that's why I did that. Again, typically, you know, I wouldn't have given him a free game with it so that I could make maybe $20 more off of it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? But anyway, that's done. I'm gonna clean the PlayStation 3, and actually I do have a few more consoles that I have to clean because I sold a Wii, sold a Genesis, and I sold a Super Nintendo. So I got 4 consoles to clean. I'm going to try to get started on it right now. All right, I got to take a break from cleaning this PlayStation. I'm going to go sell somebody Twisted Metal and Mega Man 4. I'm surprised I had this game for as long as I have, but all right, I finally sold it. So I will be back at this later. So I got a message on Facebook, somebody asking if I had any Guitar Hero guitars for sale. The only one I have is that 360 one I just picked up, and it's pretty expensive. So the guy who messaged me just wants it for a Halloween costume. So I was like, well, I got defective ones. If you just want a defective one for a costume, that'd be perfect. So I'm going to give him a choice of these 3 guitars. Whatever one he wants, he can have it for free. So he'll be out here soon to pick it up. And then I am going to a storage unit, and I got to do a trade. So I'll see you in the next one. All right, I am back from doing this stuff. So this stuff I did a trade for Super Mario Party on the Switch. This game has no game. This game case has a manual but no game. That sounded stupid. These transmitters I'm not sure about. Same with these link cables. Might go in the free bin. And this cool SP carrying case, which I might keep for myself, honestly. All right, then I went out to a storage unit, and I got a pretty good haul here. It's kind of in a mess still, but I picked up this DSi. Very beautiful. Pretty good condition. And then some games. Oh, and Pokemon Diamond was in there too. And I picked myself up a new testing TV, so I don't gotta rely on my CRT. So I've been having to bring this TV out of my bedroom to test like HDMI consoles on. So I don't have to do that anymore. That's gonna be great. Then a super slim PlayStation 3. A really cute and awesome Funai CRT. Only unfortunate thing is the volume down button is missing. He said he has a remote somewhere. Hopefully he can find it, because that'd be pretty crucial. And this Nintendo game carrying case. This thing is awesome. I feel like I see them often, and I know they're not super valuable, but it's just really cool. And this little bronze Nintendo symbol really makes it look cool. And I got some cheaper games other than Metal Gear. Most of these are just like super cheapy games like Big Mother Truckers. Actually, I think that's a pretty good one. Kirby Mass Attack. Then yeah, some cheaper games. Need for Speed Underground. I got a couple copies of that already. Nothing special here. I mean, that one's... I don't have that game yet, but I know it's not a real expensive game. And a PlayStation 1 memory card. Then, yep, some more games here. Just cheap games. Games I'm going to harvest the replacement cases from. Like this one, too. Some Atari. Wasn't super interested in it, but he gave me a really dirt cheap deal on that, so I had to take him up on that. And then I got like 10 PlayStation 2 controllers. I bought every one he had except for one. I have terrible luck with PlayStation 2 controllers, so I'm hoping that if at least half of these work, it'll be worth it. And then a PlayStation 3 controller. And then I got 2 PlayStation 2s, Platinum PS2 Slim, and a Nintendo Wii. So that was everything. Paid $260 for all this stuff. Oh, so I'm gonna get started on that, but I gotta do this first. The PlayStation 3, I gotta clean that, and then I gotta make space here. It's a freaking mess. Ayo, it is Saturday today, and yesterday I didn't do a damn thing. I got I got a new job, so my hours are like 10 to 9 now. So I tested these consoles before work, and then I went and enjoyed my night after work. So I didn't do anything, and my room is a complete mess. If I don't stay on top of stuff, it ends up looking like this, and it drives me crazy. So I'm gonna finish testing this. I gotta test this controller. One of them had really bad stick drift, so that kind of sucked, but I only paid like $3 per controller, so it's not a huge loss, but it still does suck. It's why I'm so hesitant to buy PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 controllers without testing them first. But when I get a good price on everything untested, I kind of just take a risk on it. So test this controller, clean up this freaking mess, post this stuff to my Facebook so I have more space, and then I gotta test these 2 PlayStation 2s and just clean up all of this stuff. Maybe go through the games and the DS and stuff so I can add it to the post to Facebook with that stuff. And also, somebody wants to do a trade for this CRT, so I'm gonna do that stuff today, and hopefully I can get caught up again, because this drives me crazy. All right, clean up the space a little bit. It's making me a little more happy than I was when I first walked into my house, but I still got all that shit. And then I got a pile of consoles that I have to clean. I got Wii, Super Nintendo, Platinum, PlayStation 2 Slim, PlayStation 3 Super Slim, and I also have to add the Platinum GameCube and PlayStation 2 Model 1 to this pile. So that's like 7 consoles that I gotta clean, which is a lot of work, honestly. But for now, the guy who wants to do a trade for this little Funai, I love this TV. It's really cute. I'd keep it for myself, but I live in a tiny house, and I can't. I don't have the space for it. And I also have a really nice CRT with a DVD VHS combo. I don't need it. There was a time in my life where I had like 20 CRTs in my garage, and I was like, okay, this is a problem. You got to stop. But I'll still save them. I'll still try to flip them. I paid $10 for it, and he wants to trade Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, and I was like, hell yeah, that's a great deal. I know I'm making like a lot of money on it, but these things on eBay go for stupid prices, and honestly, one of these would be easy to ship. I just don't want to, because 1, it is still kind of, a risk shipping any CRT, and 2, I'd rather just keep things local, that's my thing. I'm also going to give them this Indian in the Cupboard VHS for free. So I'm going to go do that right now. Fortunately, he lives close, so I can just scoot on over there, but I will be back to clean up this freaking mess right here and go through some stuff and price them out, put it on Facebook so I have more space on my table for me to clean the consoles. Let's get it. Just did the trade. Unfortunately, Luigi's Mansion is not in pristine condition. That's fine. I still think it was a trade that weighed heavily in my favor for what I paid for that TV. There's like damage there, and there's tape on there, so I don't know what's going to happen when I try to replace this case, because it's also got plastic missing. There's no manual, and there's a hole right there. So yeah, this definitely needs to be replaced. And the disc itself is pretty scratched, as you can see. Thank God I invested in a buffing machine. Yeah, so my initial, thinking was I'd price this at $50, because I know how quickly it'll sell and how many people have asked me to let them know when I get a copy of this. But considering the damage, no manual, I'm probably just gonna price this at $30, maybe $40, probably $30. because I know collectors, they don't want shit like that. Some of them can deal with like a missing manual, but when it comes to actual damage on the artwork, like the wear there and the chunk missing, they don't want it. So I'm gonna have to price that pretty below market to sell it quick, because a loose copy is like $50 and a complete copy is like $55, which makes no sense to me. So $30, I should be able to flip it pretty quick and make some money on it. But time to work on all that stuff. What's up, Archer? So got Luigi's Mansion in a new case. It looks nicer. The back is still pretty, not pretty, but I remembered I had the inserts that this game comes with typically. So that little Nintendo Power ad, and then the standard GameCube precautions booklet. So I feel like that makes it a little more desirable. $40 seems pretty fair to me. All right, now I gotta test these PlayStation 2s. They're pretty dusty. Look at that. They're really bad. I'm hoping that they work. Excuse me. So I'm gonna test them. I actually got this in a trade a few weeks ago, and it's great because it's got one of each disc. So this is like the gold PlayStation 2 disc. This is the standard PlayStation 2 disc, and this is a PlayStation 1 disc. And then I got my NBA Street blue disc. So I'm gonna test both of these with all of these discs and make sure that it can read all of them. Well, this PS2 does not get power, so that was a waste of $20, but, you know, it's the price you pay for untested things. Probably was, like, hooked up and lightning struck and it got blown or something. That's my assumption, so another one for the defective pile, I guess. But I'm going to test this other one because that got power to it. Alright, so this PlayStation 2, it works, kinda. The disk drive is getting stuck. You tap on the top of it, and it'll open it up. But that is not acceptable for me to sell. So hopefully a deep clean is all it needs. It might need to get, like, the belt replaced, which wouldn't be too hard. It's just more time that I have to take, and I really don't want to take more time doing it. Maybe I could pay someone $20 just to do it for me, because then I'll still be able to make some money if I ever sell it. But I'm gonna kind of test the games now. I'm gonna have to take my time with it though, but let's do it. Alright, so I read all the discs just fine, but this controller, it doesn't work. I mean, listen to this. So that's another $3. Yeah. Now I'm going to test the rest of the controllers using Tony Hawk's Pro Skater to make sure all the buttons function properly. All right, so all of these controllers work. This one definitely needs to be cleaned because the D-pad, you can even see that. What the hell? The D-pad was really hard to get the buttons to register. And this one had real slight stick drift. So either way, I'm going to get them all opened up and cleaned at some point. I ain't doing that shit right now. And this PlayStation 2, it started to get better. It just needed like the 127, as it's referred to, where you just kind of slap it or drop it or something and it magically starts working again. But I'm confident now that it's just like a deep clean that it's gonna take to get this thing just working fine. Okay, so put this stuff away and then get back to the games I got on the floor. All right, here's everything I got the last couple days. I'm gonna send that through the wash right away. Ridge Racer, that's a great game, but it was actually in this Pets Dogs 2 case. So Pets Dogs 2 is an empty case, another fucking empty case, but that's a pretty good game, better than Pets Dogs 2, honestly. Most of these games are straight dumpster fire, but some of them are pretty good, like My Makeup. That's a great game. This thing is pretty dusty, so that just needs a good wipe down. These games are fucking pretty filthy themselves. You can see the dust and the hair. I can't test them, unfortunately, but I can clean them up, and I think they look pretty cool in this little display case. And then all these games, again, Pets Dogs 2 is just an empty case. And then the DSi in the background. And some of these are going to go on the back burner shelf, and some of them are going to be used as replacement cases. The last couple of videos I've been saying I don't have many PlayStation 2 replacement cases, but I was lying. I forgot I have a bunch of PlayStation 2 replacement cases, so I don't need to pointlessly buy Maddens or NBAs or anything like that for PlayStation 2 just for the replacement case. If I get those things, I'm going to have to get them pretty much given to me at this point because I have like 50 empty cases. I'm stocked up. All right. I'm hoping I can get all of this stuff cleaned up and ready for sale so that I can make space on my table for all of that. Hey, it is Sunday and I got my table cleared off yesterday. So I'm going to begin working on all these consoles. I got somebody coming out here. He's going to do a trade with me. He's not sure what he wants. He's just going to look around. So I'll let you know what he picks up. So we just did a trade. He gave me Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4 and Scourge for the Game Boy Advance. He took Pokemon Omega Ruby. Just did a straight up trade for that. So that was a pretty good deal. I feel like this is going to be tough to sell. Loose it's at like 55, complete it's at like 75, which it seems like if a game is that expensive, if it's complete in box, it should probably be over $100 at least. But I'm gonna price it at 50 and see what I can get for it. All right, back to this Super Slim. Look at that fan. Ooh. Gonna take a break from the PlayStation 3, go buy some Xbox One games, and sell a lady some Wiimotes. So I'll be back in a little bit to show you the games I pick up. All right, here are the games I picked up. Obviously, you know, these four, I got multiples of, so they're going to go on the back burner, but Madden will be harvested just for the case. These ones are pretty good. It's got a little damage to it. Kind of sucks, but I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to get back to this PlayStation 3, damn it. Got them all cleaned. Happy to get them all done. The PlayStation 2 Model 1 and the Silver PlayStation 2 are probably already sold. Made plans to meet sometime this week, but you know how Facebook Marketplace is. People back out all the time. Unfortunately, I spent 40 minutes deep cleaning this Super Slim, and it doesn't read games. I didn't test it before I went ahead and deep cleaned it. I don't know why I did that. So go ahead and add this to the defective box. Look at all this defective stuff in here. So out of all the consoles and stuff I bought out of that storage unit a couple days ago, 2 of them were defective, totaling $40, but hopefully I can resell them for $10 each to a guy. So I won't be out $40, just 20. And that will be the last thing I do for the week. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll be back next Monday. Peace.